have a next speaker from India. We will invite you the next speaker, Dr. Deepashree Choudhury from India. If you have any question, you can do it. Otherwise, we have our next speakers, Dr. Deepashree Choudhury from India.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, sure, we can hear you.
But I can't share my screen.
Now you may share. Now you may share your screen.
Just a moment, please. Just a moment. Actually, I can't see the full screen. Just give me 1 minute. I can't see the full screen for some reason. Yes.
Yeah,
So now,
doctor.
yes, now I think I will be able to share, but still there is some problem. I
Yeah.
can't see my full screen. So can you share on my behalf?
Doctor, you can. We have access. You can do it.
But as soon as I want to share, the screen is not coming
We give
basically.
access to you. Yeah, we give access to you. It's no problem. If the screen is not a full, it's no problem. You may share. We give access to you.
No, but I cannot
Yeah,
share
now
still.
we can see. We can see. We can see your screen.
But I cannot see. I cannot open my window explorer actually. Just a second, then I'll try some other way. Just give me one
Yeah,
minute.
now we can see. We can see it's in a MS Word file. We can see.
Okay, so can you see my PowerPoint?
No, we didn't see your PowerPoint before we have seen your MS Word file.
Now can you see my PowerPoint?
No.
Can you share it from your end actually?
Yeah,
Yes, just a
here.
minute. Just a minute. I think I can share now. Yes. Now I think it's visible to you.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
it?
it's visible. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So it was just a momentary, just a second. Yes, so first of all, I would like to start by thanking the organizers for inviting me to share my thoughts with everyone here. And also, like, it's a very important topic that we are discussing today. So I'm Dr. Deepashree Choudhury and I am a professor. I teach in an architecture college in India. So today I have taken up the topic of exploring opportunities and challenges to promote the sustainable development goal. And in this particular topic that I am going through, so first of all, we all know what is a sustainable development goal for. It and the sustainable development for actually wants to ensure lifelong learning opportunities for all from early childhood to adult education, and it wants to ensure equity, inclusion, gender equity, and effective learning process. So overall it works with 10 targets, as we all know, and it wants to improve the way education is delivered and received all across the world, because this SDG is related to many other SDGs, as we have already seen. The presenters before me have come and expressed this in detail, explain the entire importance of SDG 4 in detail. So Basically, SDG 4 has a few underlying principles. Like if we say that education is a fundamental human right, and then is my screen, I can, so education is a
Yeah,
fundamental.
we can see your screen.
Okay, okay, thank you. So SDG 4 has basic underlying principles, like it considers education as a fundamental human right. It considers that education is for public good, and it also considers inclusion as a right for every citizen across the world. So it has 10 outcome targets. So every country have has worked out certain target based on this overall targets. Like first target is universal primary and secondary education. Next is early childhood development. Third one is equal success to technical and higher education. Fourth one is relevant skill for decent work. Fifth one is gender equality and inclusion. Sixth one is universal youth literacy, education for sustainable development and global citizenship. So these targets are the guiding principles, and various countries have worked out various sub-targets based on them, including India. And also, they have worked out various means of implementation. Like in India, we have effective learning, the creation of effective learning environment, then the number of scholarship and financial aid, and focus on the teacher and educators so that their knowledge skill set is improved, and the way they deliver the education to the classrooms are also improved, has been experimented with. So we all know that SDG 4 is very important because it has a broader impact. It has an impact on SDG 8, it has an impact on SDG 3, it has an impact on SDG 13. So the countries around the world, including India, are trying to focus on inclusive and equitable quality education, as this particular SDG alone can be a vehicle for achieving the sustainable, equitable, and prosperous world. So this few benefits, few importance and benefits of achieving SDG 4 are listed down here. Like SDG 4 is closely related to economic growth, reduction of poverty, social mobility, and cognitive skill, critical thinking, promotion of peace and stability, cultural and social development. So all these benefits can be realized in the smaller local context as well as the global context. This particular slides discusses the link to other SDGs. Like SDG 4, as I earlier said, that it is very much related to good health and well-being. It is very much related to gender equality, decent work and economic growth, and reduced inequality SDGs. So if we see the current status of SDG 4, there are many SDG dashboards and many automated dashboards in different countries, which already measured that how much they have reached various SDGs. So if we see the several data has also been released by United Nations. For example, it says that primary education, the global primary school enrollment rate has reached 91%, but there is a regional disparity. This 91% is an average, but the regional disparity still exists. Now the gender parity, there has been less, uh, the gap between the boys and girls education have been reduced across the world, but again there has been regional disparity. So this key statistics and data talks about the enrollment rates, literacy rate, teacher availability, etc., etc. But one major problem with these data are that the regional disparities are often overlooked. So like if you see the various regions across the world, Sub-Saharan Africa, South Asia, Latin America, Middle East, high income countries, we find that in all these particular indicators to measure the SDG 4, like enrollment and access, quality of education, gender inequality, infrastructure, early childhood education, conflict, impact, gender disparity. These are the indicators with which most of the dashboards measure that how much and what is the area of achievement of SDG 4. This particular indicators give us very different datas across the region, because these indicators are very context specific. So whenever we are talking of the overall improvement of SDG 4, the context and response to context becomes very important. Nextly, So there are other challenges also in data collection. There are challenges like we don't have comprehensive data, then the data are disaggregated by gender, location, disability. We have problems in capacity building, the people who collect data, the people who categorize data, and also the way the data is actually shared between the different global organization, between the researcher, between the academician. So these various problems still exist in how we deal with the SDG 4, because unless and until we can actually we can actually calculate that what is the various level of indicators that various countries have reached, we can hardly frame our policies. So the various factors or the various streams in which the opportunities exist while we are working for betterment of SDG 4 is the policy and governance. In the policy and governance, also we are talking about the international collaboration. Next, we are talking about technological advancement like e-learning platforms, digital education, blended mode, mobile learning. We are talking about the innovation in educational tools. We are talking about the role of community like NGOs, and also we are looking about the and talking about the grassroots advocacy. So these are the various opportunities that are available with us, and if we work in detail about these opportunities, we can definitely work towards the betterment of SDG 4. Now, after that, if we do certain case studies that certain countries are there all across the world who have built certain successful models while working with SDG 4. For example, Finland. Finland has a comprehensive and inclusive education system. So they have worked for equity in education. They have worked for highly qualified teachers. They have lots of in-house programs for increasing the quality and the skill attainment of teacher. And the learning there is not teacher centric but student centered learning has been in vogue from long time, and the evaluation pattern is not standardized, it is very student specific. So with these key strategies they have achieved outcome like high student performance and low level of student stress and student well-being, which is also a very important aspect of education. Next, when we are going to Singapore, if we talk about Singapore uh, strategies, they have a very strong rigor and relevance for curriculum development and stood bilingual policy, early intervention, early childhood education is given a lot of priority, career and technical education. All these strategies has again led to high performance among the students in international assessment and strong alignment between education and practice, which is the intended outcome of education in SDG 4, and a highly skilled workforce that has worked for the betterment of the entire country. So, if we come to the countries, different countries across the world, for example, Rwanda. In Rwanda, actually, it has remarkable progress only after the 1994 genocide. It has suffered a lot. Its economy has suffered a lot. So, it has framed policies for universally primary education, for gender equity, for use of ICT, and teacher training and professional development. For that, they have increased their primary school enrollment rates from 73% to 97%. Now, similarly, we can see Brazil. Brazil also has various programs. The best example is Bolsa Familia program, where they have had conditional cash transfers, where they had integrated social policies and regular monitoring and evaluation of their policy. And they have been adjusting their policy based on the ground situation, based on the contextual requirement. So the outcome again is increased school enrollment in the primary levels and increased attendance rate, reduction in child labor, which has percolated to significant impact on poverty reduction. So after studying, I have only presented a few case studies over here. The basic things are that the best practices across the world, they tend to create holistic and inclusive education. They invest in teacher quality, adapting to local context, leveraging technology. These are the excess developing access and equity. Am I audible? Because a lot of noise is there. Gender and socio-economic
Yeah,
barrier.
sure, sure.
Okay, and quality and relevance. So now when we are talking of challenges in promoting the SDGs, There are, as many speakers have already discussed, so my presentation also agrees with them that teacher training, capacity building, funding and resources, and most of all, resource allocation are the major challenges that we see in experimenting or in supporting the SDG 4 goals. So basically, we will have to work on the policy recommendation. We will have to work on certain innovative solution like public partnership, community driven initiative, capacity building, and the role of all the stakeholders, not only government but the private sector and civil society, are most important. So the policies must keep in mind of supporting all these particular stakeholder, and there are certain long term strategies that the many important things are that, like, we have to continue the policies, educational policies, and develop collaborative ones. Financial commitment to the goal is also very important, and new methods of monitoring and evaluating our policies. Next requirement is curriculum innovation and probably some kind of collaboration in the curriculum also across the world, flexible learning model, and how to continue lifelong learning. So these are the long-term policies that we can take. So with this, I end my presentation.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you for your kind presentations, and thank you. You have concluded your presentation according to your given time.